We've all probably seen good art at some point or another, and we've probably also seen bad art, or let me just say art that you have no idea what you're supposed to think when you're looking at it. You know that art you see in a museum, and you walk up to it, and you're secretly thinking, how did that get in a museum? Maybe this is just me, but how did that get in a museum? Because I don't even know what I'm looking at. It looks kind of weird. It looks sort of ugly even to me. Sorry to insult any artist, but I liken relational intelligence to good art and relational unintelligence to bad art. When art is done well, good art, it's compelling, it's beautiful, it's creative, it's appealing, it draws you in. It's something to behold. It may even stir your emotions and move you. In contrast, when art is done poorly, we'll call it bad art, it's unprovoking, unappealing, boring, dull. No one's interested in it or engaged with it, falls flat and doesn't stir up anything inside of you. When relationships are done well, people often feel noticed and heard and known. They feel valued and included. Healthy intimacy emerges. Conflict gets resolved. Strong friendships form. Relational healing takes place. People feel accepted where they are, but challenged to grow. People honor one another and treat each other well. I mean, it's beautiful. It's compelling. And these kinds of people draw you to them. They may inspire you. They may draw you in. The way they relate to people, right, may even be something to behold. But in contrast, when relationships are done poorly, people may lie to each other, trust is broken, people get hurt, people feel betrayed, devalued, pride causes distance between people, conflict remains unresolved, grudges and unforgiveness linger in people's hearts, anger turns to resentment, and eventually bitterness and hatred get embedded in the heart. People may feel invisible, like they don't matter. People that behave this way damper and weaken relationships, and no one is drawn to that. And if anything, we're repelled. We all can recognize at least some aspects of relational health and wholeness, and we can also recognize relational unhealth and relational brokenness. And just like good art draws you in, inspires you, moves you, etc., good relationships can do that too. In fact, that's how God intended relationships to be. But what happens in relationships is that people start to make things about them, and they forget that God designed us to strive to be others-oriented. I know it's not easy and it doesn't come naturally, but following Jesus is not primarily about doing what's right. Here's why: because that's still about you. Following Jesus is primarily about doing what's right for others. In other words, how you treat others reveals your spiritual maturity. The true test of spiritual maturity isn't how much you pray or how often you quote verses or how many verses you memorize or how often you volunteer at church. No, the true measure of spiritual maturity is found in how you treat one another. And this is the story that God wants our life to tell.